Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chap. 28 Sec. 4 of Jane Eyre, an autobiography.
As.
Oh. Jane Eyre, an autobiography. Brontë. Chap. 28 Sec. 4. That of persons who saw me then for the first time, and who knew nothing about my character prior to. While she was right. If the offer appeared to her sinister or the exchange unprofitable, let me condense now. I am sick of the subject. A little before dark I passed a farmhouse, at the open door of which the farmer was sitting, eating his supper of bread and cheese. I stopped and said, "Will you give me a piece of bread? For I am very hungry." He cast on me a glance of surprise, but without answering. He cut a thick slice from his loaf and gave it to me. I imagined he did not think I was a beggar, but only an eccentric sort of lady who had taken a fancy to his brown loaf. As soon as I was out of sight of his house, I sat down and ate it. I could not hope to get a lodging under a roof, and sought it in the wood I have before alluded to. But my night was wretched, my rest broken. The ground was damp, the air cold. Besides, intruders passed near me more than once, and I had again and again to change my quarters. No sense of safety or tranquillity befriended me. Towards morning it rained. The whole of the following day was wet. Do not ask me, reader, to give a minute account of that day. As before, I sought work. As before, I was repulsed. As before, I starved. But once did food pass my lips. Mist of cold porridge into a pig trough. Will you give me that? I asked. She stared at me. Mother, she exclaimed. Well, lass, replied a voice within. Give it her if she's a beggar. The girl emptied the stiffened mould into my hand, and I devoured it ravenously. As the wet twilight deepened, I stopped in a solitary bridle path, which I had been pursuing an hour or more. My strength is quite failing me, I said in a soliloquy. I feel I cannot go much farther. Shall I be an outcast again this night? While the rain descends so, must I lay my head on the cold, dredged round? I fear I cannot do otherwise. For who will receive me? But it will be very dreadful. With this feeling of hunger, faintness, shell, and this sense of desolation thighs total prostration and hope. In all likelihood, I should die before morning. And why cannot I reconcile myself to the prospect of death? Why do I struggle to retain a valueless life? Because I know, or believe, with Rochester's living. And then, to die of want and cold is a fate to which nature cannot submit passively. Oh, Providence, sustain me a little longer. My glazed eye wandered over the dim and misty landscape. I saw I had strayed far from the village. It was quite out of sight. The very cultivation surrounding it had disappeared. I had, by causways and bypass, once more drawn near the tract of moorland. And now, only a few fields, almost as wild and unproductive as the heath from which they were scarcely reclaimed, lay between me and the dusky hill. Well, reflected, my flesh from my bones, to the hill. Then I turned. I reached it. It remained now only to find a hollow where I could lie down and feel at least hidden, if not secure. But all the surface of the waste slope level, it showed no variation but of tint. Green, warish and mossive were the marshes. Black, where the dry soil bore only heath. Dark as it was getting, I could still see these changes, though but as mere alternations of light and shade. For colour had faded with the daylight. My eyes still roved over the sullen swell and along the merge, finishing amidst the wildest scenery, when at one dim point, far in among the marshes and the ridges, a light sprang up. That is an ignis fatuus was my first thought, and I expected it would soon vanish. It burnt on, however, quite steadily, neither receding nor advancing. Is it, then, a bonfire just kindled? I questioned. I watched to see whether it would spread. But no. As it did not diminish, so it did not enlarge. It may be a kindle in a house, I then conjectured. But if so, I can never reach it. It is much too far away. And were it within a yard of me, what would it avail? And I sank down where I stood, and hid my face against the ground. I lay still a while. The night wind swept over the hill and over me, and died moaning in the distance. The rain fell fast, wetting me afresh to the skin. Felt it done. I should not have felt it, but my yet living flesh shuddered at its chilling influence. I rose ere long. To be continued.